It's official. Wilfried Nancy has been confirmed as Celtic's new manager, and he's already made an emotional first impression at Lennox Town. We've got his first words to the fans, details on his reunion with Alistair Johnston, and why Michael Nicholson says there was a delay in the announcement. Plus, Martin O'Neill reveals his touching final conversation with Nancy, and we'll tell you what the new boss expects from this squad. This is huge. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic have officially named Wilfried Nancy as the club's new manager, bringing the Columbus crew boss to Glasgow on a 2.5-year contract. The Frenchman will take charge on December the 4th, stepping into the role after weeks of interim leadership from Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney. Nancy arrives with a growing reputation and a track record of high-level success. His most recent achievements in MLS include lifting both the MLS Cup and the Leagues Cup with Columbus, while he was also named MLS Coach of the Year in 2024. Before that, he secured the Canadian Championship with CF Montreal in 2021. His coaching journey has steadily drawn attention from Europe, and Celtic have now moved to make him the club's next long-term appointment. The 48-year-old spoke with clear pride and enthusiasm as he addressed supporters for the first time. He made a point of acknowledging the work done by O'Neill and Maloney, praising the stability and direction they offered at a challenging moment for the club. Their recent contributions have been widely recognised, and Nancy ensured his first message was one of gratitude before shifting focus to the future. Nancy's arrival marks a significant shift for Celtic as they move into the second half of the season with renewed clarity. After a difficult period that saw the squad stretched and confidence tested, the club now aims to build on the base put in place by O'Neill and Maloney. Nancy's reputation for attacking football, detailed coaching, and player development aligns with the club's wider plan, and he arrives with backing from every level of the hierarchy. His first task will be to settle into the environment quickly, connect with the squad, and adjust to the demands of Scottish football. Celtic's fixture list remains intense, with league expectations, European ambitions, and domestic cup commitments forming a demanding schedule. The new manager has made it clear he understands that responsibility and is ready to meet it. Now for the main story, as Wilfried Nancy has sent an emotional message to Celtic supporters in his first interview since being appointed manager. His words were measured yet warm, and it was clear he understood the scale of what he was walking into. For Celtic fans tuning in, this was not a manager feeling his way into the job. It was someone embracing it from the moment his feet touched the training ground. His interview also provided an intriguing glimpse into how he wants Celtic to look under his guidance. Nancy spoke passionately about proactive football, collective movement, and the importance of clarity in difficult moments. But alongside that was a commitment to effort, respect, and bringing genuine joy to those who fill the stands. It painted the picture of a manager who sees Celtic not only as a football club, but as something personal, a place where identity and ambition meet. Supporters have been waiting to hear from the man chosen to lead the next phase of the club's journey, and Nancy did not disappoint. His first words felt sincere, thoughtful, and rooted in understanding. They set the tone for what he hopes to build and offered a reassuring message at a time when expectation is high and the season is finely balanced. He said, "Fans, for me, are really important. Supporters want a team that excites them, and Nancy framed that ambition as essential rather than optional." His belief in proactive football feels well suited to Celtic Park, where attacking intent is more than a preference, it is an expectation. As he steps into a demanding run of fixtures, Nancy's message has already struck the right note. He has introduced himself not only as a coach with ideas, but as a leader who recognises the bond between the team and the supporters. For Celtic fans, that connection is everything. On the evidence of his first words, their new manager feels the same way. Nancy's early message to supporters offered more than standard introductory remarks. There was a clear sense of purpose in the way he talked about Celtic and the people who follow the club. He spoke as a manager who values the emotional heartbeat of football and understands why Celtic's support means so much to those who have grown up with it. That kind of awareness is not something that can be taught. It comes naturally, and it showed throughout the interview. In other news, Wilfried Nancy's first day at Lennox Town brought an unexpected and emotional moment as he was reunited with Alistair Johnston, the Canadian defender he coached at CF Montreal. The reunion carried more weight than a simple greeting. Johnston's spell on the sidelines has been long and frustrating, defined by setbacks and the eventual need for surgery. Seeing him smiling on the pitch, speaking with a manager he trusts, created a sense of optimism around his eventual return. It also reinforced that Nancy understands exactly what Johnston brings, both as a player and as a personality within the squad, and will have a clear plan for him once he is fit to rejoin full training. Nancy's reaction spoke volumes too. Johnston has been recovering from hamstring surgery and remains on an individual program, but that didn't take away from the significance of the moment. As Nancy stepped into his new role, seeing a familiar face and one who thrived under his coaching brought an added sense of connection to a group he is only beginning to shape. For Johnston, who has endured a grueling spell of rehabilitation, the chance to meet his former manager again clearly meant something. His smile said more than words as he approached Nancy for the first time since their paths diverged 3 years ago. The scenes offered a glimpse into how quickly Nancy may settle into life at Celtic, but the long-term picture matters too. The first images of Nancy at Lennoxtown, the intensity of his early work, and the warmth of his reunion with Johnston all point towards a manager ready to embed himself in the club from the first day. If the scenes from today are any indication, this is a partnership that will pick up right where it left off, now on a far bigger stage, with far more on the line. The reunion with Johnston simply adds another thread to the story, a human moment that underlines why so many believe Nancy's approach will translate well to Lennoxtown and beyond. In other news, Wilfried Nancy has revealed details of a heartfelt conversation with Martin O'Neill that took place shortly after his arrival in Glasgow. The new boss spoke warmly about the brief but meaningful exchange, praising the man who steadied Celtic at a crucial point in the season and handed over a team full of confidence. It was an insight into Nancy's character as much as anything else, a coach who values people, respects experience, and understands the heritage of the job he has accepted. O'Neill's interim spell ended with Celtic level at the top of the Premiership and safely into a cup final, and Nancy made a point of acknowledging the scale of that achievement. Before philosophy, structure, or tactical demands, he wanted to speak with the man who had restored belief at a moment when Celtic were drifting. What followed was a conversation he described as humble, genuine, and full of insight. It set the tone for Nancy's early days and offered supporters a window into the continuity he hopes to build. Lastly, Michael Nicholson has explained the reason behind the delay in officially announcing Wilfried Nancy as Celtic manager. The CEO revealed that the hold-up was primarily due to work permit and visa requirements that needed to be completed before Nancy could officially take charge at Lennoxtown. Nicholson stressed that while negotiations with Columbus Crew had been completed smoothly, the administrative process of bringing Nancy from the United States to Scotland required careful handling to ensure everything was in order. The delay meant that Martin O'Neill had to remain in charge for longer than initially anticipated, including Celtic's 1-0 victory over Dundee on Tuesday night. However, Nicholson emphasised that the club was determined to get the process right, rather than rush the announcement. Nancy arrived in Glasgow on Tuesday night, with all of the paperwork and visas finally sorted out. It meant that his first match in the dugout will come against Hearts on Sunday. Nicholson also praised O'Neill and Maloney for their flexibility and professionalism throughout the transition period, noting that they had been instrumental in maintaining stability while the club finalised Nancy's appointment. The CEO made it clear that Celtic are fully behind their new manager and that the slight delay will have no impact on Nancy's ability to implement his ideas and prepare the team for the challenges ahead. So, what do you think of Wilfried Nancy's first words as Celtic manager? Does his message about attacking football and connecting with the fans feel like exactly what we need right now? And are you excited to see him reunited with Alistair Johnston? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.